Hi, this is Brandon Baines in the Math Department at Lipscomb University, here to talk with you today about the definition of a linear function. In this presentation, you'll learn the definition of a linear function, how to recognize a linear function, and how to graph linear functions using an XY table. A linear function is a function of the form f of x equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept. Graphically, a linear function can be recognized because its graph is a line. A linear function can be recognized on an xy table because the y values change. This could either be an increase or decrease by the same amount as the x values increase by the same amount each time. Let's take a look at an example. Consider f of x equals negative 3x plus 1. This is a linear function with slope equal to negative 3 and y-intercept equal to 1. We recognize that by simply lining up the definition of linear function and the terms in their position. So I'm going to go back to that definition so we see it once more. That is f of x equals mx plus b. The m, that number, that coefficient for x, is the slope, and the constant term there is the y-intercept. So we see that the constant term in this function is 1, and so we know that's the y-intercept. Of course, the graph of this function can be constructed by making an xy table, as we've done in previous presentations. And so we have an xy table here below. And if we take a look at this xy table, we can see we've spaced our x values 1 unit at a time. We went from -2 to -1, and so on. And if we observe the change in y for each 1 unit change in x on this xy table, we should be able to pick up a very important characteristic of linear functions. Namely, take a look here. From 7 to 4, there's a decrease of 3. From 4 to 1, there's a decrease of 3. From 1 to -2, decrease of 3. And from -2 to -5, it's a decrease of 3. So notice, for each 1 unit change in x, we see a corresponding 3 unit decrease in y. Also notice that our slope was identified as -3. Okay, that is no coincidence. Those two things are very much the same. Okay, the amount of change in y per 1 unit change in x and slope, those are the same. If we plot the ordered pairs from our xy table, we get the following graph. So this is the graph of our linear function.